Hello and welcome to another episode of Klopp'S commentary. We went through heaps today. We had a preview of the EPL, talked about Klopp's statues, the inspiring Marcus Rashford Liverpool title parade and where it's going to go, the unofficial champions of England, Bundesliga finishing, footballing, entrepreneurs, riots in Spain, Italian return and some Turkish delight to round it off at the end. So please sit back, relax and enjoy the show. We're pretty much there now. This is a weird place right now because we were waiting so long for football to come back, right? This is 2 months of literally nothing. The Bundesliga comes back and we're like, yes, football's back, right? But it doesn't feel like it was back, does it?
No, it didn't. I mean, it did and it didn't.
Yeah.
Like, we got excited and then it was just an anticlimax.
Yeah. Well,
and we don't hate the German league. It's just like...
Well, we didn't watch it much before, so I think that's really it.
Yeah, it was a league we kept an eye on, but we didn't actually follow it.
Well, we did follow it, but we didn't watch it.
Well, yeah.
So, whereas other leagues, we, like, you know... Because we probably kept an eye on what? The English league, the Italian league, the Spanish league, and the German league.
Well, the two leagues I watch are the English and the Italian for me.
Mm. Yeah, we don't even watch the Spanish league, do we?
We don't watch the Spanish league.
Oh, for good reason. We're not too fond of the two powerhouses there, but it's just depressing what's going on there. But anyway, let's not go down that rabbit hole. But yeah, the Premier League is just around the corner. It's a couple of days away.
Kicking things off with Villa and Sheffield.
Oh, what a game!
What a great start!
What a game!
I will be up for that one.
Mind you, if you didn't have any idea of placings and things like that, you think, relegation battle here. Who's gonna get relegated?
Well, Sheffield's not actually in there.
Well, Sheffield's going for the Champions League, basically.
Yeah, they're in those positions. They're in for Europe for sure.
It's not even. They're kind of, I guess. They are right up there. They are 6th right now. They're ahead of...
No, they're in Europa League contention, definitely.
No, they're in Champions League contention, like legit.
Oh, because of Man City's...
Yes, so the top 5 is up for grabs, really. They're 7th. Wolves, they're equal 6th, essentially. They're only 2 goals behind Wolves.
If they get into Europe, it'll be remarkable.
Hold on.
Even the Europa
Hold
League.
the phone. They're not even behind. They could be 5th once they play their game in hand, which is this game
against Villa. Yeah, we'll see.
If they win this game, they will be 5th.
I will be up for this game,
which is actually you'll not be up for this game.
I might be.
3 a.m.
Yeah, no.
In fact, you said before we started recording, I said 3 a.m. and you said no.
Well, I got excited. I'm like, Sheffield could be 5th. But then I thought about it again. I'm like, nah.
Well, what you could do is get up for the next game, which is Manchester City hosting Arsenal. That is interesting on 2 accounts. One, it's a big game, just in general. 2, it could get Liverpool closer to the title if Man City lose this game. Which could also mean that Liverpool could win the title at... Is it Goodison Park or is it Anfield? No, it's Goodison Park.
It's at Goodison, yeah.
It'd still be in Liverpool, 1.5 miles down the road. But
it's a very dangerous place, 1.5 miles down the road.
Oh, not anymore, because there's no fans.
You wouldn't want to celebrate too hard.
No, you can celebrate as hard as you want because there's no one in the streets. So.
The Everton players will be there.
Yeah.
They wouldn't want you to celebrate.
Imagine if you had the bus, like the parade bus, parked outside, just waiting. How much of an in your face?
Oh,
and the thing on top of that.
Well, you got to have it just in case, don't you?
Well,
say City lose to Arsenal.
Well, then they'll know well in advance, right?
Right.
So it's 2 days. I think 2 or 3 days between.
You'd have to have the bus there just in case Liverpool do win.
But that's not how.
Which is very possible.
But you don't get the bus. You get at the end of the season. I'm pretty sure you don't do it. But I was thinking, right? because even though they don't get to celebrate with their fans,
But you got to
they get to just drive through
But you got to give the
through blue territory.
you got to give the fans something to cheer about. I mean,
Yeah, you do it again later.
Yeah, but during Corona, I reckon we should start the party now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely. I mean, we'll go.
I won't be at the party. I'm just talking about other people who would like to have a party.
Actually, before we go on to the rest of the fixtures in the return to English football, Steven Gerrard was interviewed, God knows what for, but Klopp came up and he was just full of praise, and Cos really agrees with Steven Gerrard here. He reckons they should already start getting the plans together for a statue of Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, no. It makes sense. It's logical. There's no argument against it. What possible argument could you have against it?
Well, you could be a Manchester United fan.
I don't want to hear it. Right? He will get a statue at some point, and they may as well do it now. What are they waiting for?
And where would you put it? In front of Goodison Park, or?
Well, that would be silly, wouldn't it?
A step too far.
You wouldn't make the statue just to annoy Everton fans.
Could you? And then unveil it as after their game against Everton.
Maybe you can put it at the front of Old Trafford. Maybe you can make 3 statues of Jurgen Klopp.
But think of this, Cos.
You can make 3 different poses of Klopp.
3 different poses. You can one at Anfield, one at United, one at Everton. All right,
one at United could be giving United the finger.
Because
he's never won there. He's never won at Old Trafford.
It has to be more like Klopp. It's got to be him just doing like a sort of like this. How would you say it? Like a Viking yell, and like his hands clenched, 2 arms by his side, and sort of like dry humping, sort of like not dry. You know what I mean? But it's just like
you said dry humping. I mean,
I know, but just okay. I guess thrusting in what's it called in victory, towards the Old Trafford stand, frozen in time. And it's like this war yell, It's just.
Does Sir Alex have a statue?
I'm pretty sure he has something. I think he's got a stand. I think he's probably got everything. Got the whole shebang.
Does this trophy for Liverpool reaffirm that Liverpool's on the perch?
They should do a statue of the liver bird on a perch outside Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Because United did knock Liverpool off their perch, but I think with the Champions League,
brought them straight back.
With the Champions League win, if they win the league, they're probably back on the perch.
Oh, they're definitely back on the perch.
So yeah.
Okay, the other 2 statues, where are they going?
The other one would be at Goodison Park.
Yeah, right.
But not that wouldn't be as sort of tensed up. He'd just be like sort of saying, "Yeah, we're back. Like we're the number 1 team in the city."
Could it also be him sort of like standing above some other Evertonian?
It would be a statue of arrogance, just to say that we are the best team in this city, and like whatever you guys do, we're always number 1. I think that would probably go for that.
I mean, I'm not for.
You're not.
No, I was going to say I'm not for sort of what's the word, genocidal regimes or anything like that. But is there a dictator that has a statue that they could use as a template for this statue, where they're just looking down and you can see in the statue that they're just above everybody else? I'm sure they could find something like in the archives in old school Germany and Russia, and
you could probably find something,
possibly in China. Yeah,
I mean maybe with the Khan dynasty or something. Is there
the Khan dynasty?
Is there something with?
I don't think they had the ability to make statues.
I think they've got a statue. They surely would have a statue.
Yeah, possibly. But either way, all right. So he's looking down.
Well,
okay,
I wasn't thinking of a dictator, and it's not really appropriate for this example. But for someone above looking down, I was thinking of like a 12-foot high Jesus pose, just like
like the Brazil.
Yeah, Christ the Redeemer or something like that. Yeah.
Klopp in like a robe, just looking down at the people with a smile on his face, just like
it's saying "I love you too."
Potentially,
that's the message.
Potentially a point of conversion, and then the rest of Liverpool to turn red.
Look, it won't work. But right. just to say, it won't
all right.
work.
So we've got our two, and the last one at Anfield. What's he doing?
I think you've got to have the fist pump and just.
Just the.
He's got a few good ones, I suppose.
Have all of them. Just Klopp's best top 5.
Have them all statues around Anfield. Yeah.
Have them all at the stadium. One at the front and then one in each corner.
Yeah.
Like on the entrance above. I have to be honest. I don't know what the entrance looks like, but just like standing above, like as you walk into the stadium.
The Kop should be renamed the Klopp. As well. Why is it the Kop?
Or have the Kop with the O having the umlaut above it and two P's.
But the Kerp.
The Kip. The Kip.
Germanise the Kop.
Oh, yeah. But okay. I think we've had our fun with Liverpool.
Yeah, we have.
Definitely. Actually, going across to our to Liverpool's crosstown rivals, well, not really crosstown, but they're slightly further away northern rivals. Manchester United.
Yes.
Young Marcus Rashford. Great example for the young people, well, not just the young people, just people out there, putting in, or at least trying to take the first steps to putting an end to hunger and poverty.
Well, child poverty more specifically. And
yeah.
It's just a great thing. I mean, how does the world become a better place? Kindness. Is it random acts of kindness? Not that this is a random act of kindness, but it's just to donate his wages for this noble cause is a great thing. He's got to be commended for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a much better use of money than
booze and
a Maserati
and
that's
drugs and
wrapped around a tree.
Yeah, well, the Maserati's a good car, but I mean,
well, they don't belong wrapped around trees.
Well, they don't belong wrapped around trees, but it's just a great thing, really. I mean, the guy's making a lot of money, and he's...
See, yeah, for a second, I got lost there between what he was doing and a Maserati, because the Maserati really is a great thing.
It is a great car, but at the end of the day, he's doing a great thing with his wages, and he's trying to improve people's lives. I mean, if more people did that, the world would be a better place.
Yeah, so, and it doesn't seem to be... I mean, he's in a great position, obviously. He's got money... that he can,
and he's got more money coming in.
Dispense on, which, and this isn't about it's just like pocket change to him. No, that's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying here is that he's in a position where he can actually do a difference, and he is doing it. That's the thing. The
pocket change argument. I mean, that's just a silly. If people say that sort of thing, that's silly because he can do what he wants with his money. You can't force a man to do certain things with their money. They can do what they like.
Yeah, well...
And he's choosing to do a good thing, so therefore you got to commend him.
Another bad thing is when people say, well, that's pocket change to them. Well, again, not pocket change they're spending on a Maserati. Or...
That's true.
Lo and behold, and I hope this doesn't ever happen, a Porsche. Just, no, that's a waste of money. But,
yeah. I mean, I'm not a Porsche fan.
No.
But people are. I respect them, but I would choose a Ferrari. But anyway, it's... on a side note.
Or just about any... I don't know what it is. Maserati, Ferrari, Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Is it a coincidence that they're all Italian?
No, it's not.
No,
they design their cars brilliantly.
They do.
And there's also Bugatti as well. And
I know there's something in the German engineering. But anyway, Rashford putting his money where his mouth is. Not asking the politician... Yeah. Well, he's also asking the politicians to do something about it. But... to join in as well.
But the good thing is he's doing something.
But he's taking the first step.
He's leading by example, and that's a great thing.
And he's so young too. He's 22.
No, he's a great thing. He's passionate about something, obviously, and he's going after it. It's great.
It's almost entrepreneurial, you could say. That he's.
Well, I don't know if he's thinking in those terms. He might be like charitable at this stage.
Well,
but it's still a great thing. Whatever it is,
it's not just he's throwing money at it and saying like, oh, here's some money, give it to people who need it. He's actually he's going forward and putting a plan in place. So I'll be really interested to see how far he goes with this. If he does actually set up like a company or foundation or something.
Well, that's
like
the
that,
thing. You'd have to
non-profit.
set something up for it to last in the long term. I mean, you can donate in the short term, but to have future funds going and for it to sustain itself, something's got to be set up.
I mean, I know that there are footballers that do this. They go on to sort of, I guess they become sort of amateur entrepreneurs, and they start up foundations and things like that to charities and whatnot. Who was I thinking of recently that had a great charity? Oh no, I was thinking of Bill Gates. He's not a sports star at all, but
well, he's got money.
Yeah, he's got a bit of change to throw around. But how good would it be if just every footballer, not every footballer, but like it started essentially trending. Footballers, they got so much money, they just become entrepreneurs, like all of them. And they just start doing all these.
It depends for what
little projects. Yeah, true. I mean, if they're gonna try and
they're gonna start an oil company, then
it's like, look, it's not very entrepreneur like. Where's your sense of adventure?
Yeah.
But just seeing all that money going towards. I mean, where does that money go? Really, I can't understand how it all.
Well, yeah, I mean,
because there's a lot.
They get paid a lot of money.
But I mean, not just them, just all the money going to the football, right? In terms of the economy, you think of what because just because somebody gets money, it's fine as long as the money comes back into the city and stuff. They pay their taxes. That's one thing. So it goes through the government. So that'll come back to the people as well in some way. But then if they're buying, say, like foreign exports and stuff like that, that's money going off somewhere else, right? That's going off to Italy, Germany, still staying in the right. England's not part of the European Union anymore, so
there's a problem.
There's that.
Yeah.
But it's sort of in the same rough economy. They're still trading and pretty thing with other countries in Europe, right? So I'm just wondering, because I can't even imagine how you spend when the players are on 100,000 a week, right?
Yeah, you got to spend it somehow.
Unless you're just buying properties every month, like what? Where's this going?
Well, they're probably saving for like a 10-room mansion at Lake Como or something, and just costing 30 million euros or whatever it is, some ridiculous property.
Oh well,
but yeah.
some people do that, but most of them don't have mansions, right? Most of the players, they just have some sort of house or something like that. You get the odd footballer that it's like, oh, he's got a 13 million mansion and 15 servants and things like that. Good on them for providing jobs and all, but to be a servant to whoever it is. But no, I just thought that would be an interesting.
No, definitely. And if more footballers do, the similar things that Rashford's doing, I mean, a lot of them do donate to charities and sort of stuff like that. But I think the difference here is that Rashford's starting a new thing on his own, and that's just something to commend. I
guess also being an entrepreneur, it takes up a lot of your time, and footballers don't have much of that. They've got money, but they don't.
No, well, they're very busy.
They're
playing or they're training, and they've got promotions.
Or recovering, even if they're injured, they're recovering.
Or they're recovering, or they've got sponsorship promotions to do.
Yeah, they've got the ad.
They've got to go to the local school. They've got a lot of things to do.
So it's tough to really... Because I was thinking a football doing like an Elon Musk, like starting a space expedition or something like that, or creating the first... Not the first, but just a commonly used electric car, making it the standard. You know what I mean? Like someone making a game-changing footballer, and I guess I shouldn't be getting my hopes up. They're not going to put their energy into that, but it would just be because there's so much money there, or at least fund it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, let's move past that, the money game, and just have a look at the other fixtures coming up in the Premier League. So that was for us. It's Thursday morning. Those two fixtures, the catch-up fixtures: Aston Villa, Sheffield, and Manchester City versus Arsenal. Then 2 days later, Saturday morning for us, and I guess it's Friday night for the UK. Norwich versus Southampton, another cracker, cause
yeah, I'll be up for that one.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if Southampton's momentum will be thwarted somewhat.
You think all momentum. They're kind of just starting again.
But to be fair, their momentum was purely Danny Ings.
Well, is he playing?
He's in the top scorer list. He scored half the team's goals.
If he's playing, then they're a chance.
He should be going. Yeah. And Norwich obviously almost lost all hope, but who knows now? They could just have a massive swing around.
Well, all the teams are starting again. Momentum's gone now. You got to.
Well, Norwich won the championship last season. So,
they did,
and had a bit of a canter. So I think they had a 10-point gap from Sheffield. So, if they pick up that form, who knows? It's a crazy time. That's the thing. There's stuff going on at the top and the bottom. Mostly, not the very top because Liverpool's going to win the title, but the relegation battle is intense in the Premier League.
Very intense.
And the Champions League
is
even more intense.
It's tough.
Actually, arguably just as intense.
It's tough.
It is. Just a reminder of the bottom. Brighton, 29 points. They're the furthest ahead of safety. Whereas Bournemouth, who's in the relegation zone, is on 27. Then in between those two, you got West Ham and Watford, also on 27, with a goal difference of minus 15, minus 17, and minus 18. So
very competitive.
Yeah, that's one bad result.
Both evenly as bad as each other.
So they could all switch places without actually having a different result to each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
If one team loses by 5 goals, then another by 1, then
yeah,
they swap.
Very close.
Imagine getting to the end of the season and basically your relegation comes down to goal difference, and you're just playing against a team to concede us little. It's okay, guys, look, there's no way in hell we're beating this team. We have no confidence. Our best players are injured. We have no skill. Let's just put everyone behind the ball. If we concede, that's okay. If we concede again, that's a bit worse. Just try and concede as little as possible. If we can keep it under 3, we should be okay. Okay, but don't think about scoring. Just get it. In fact, you know what? Strikers, all off. You're on the. I don't know if we should even put you on the bench. You're not even the match day squad. All of our defenders are on the pitch.
I would just be taking the ball to the corner the whole game from the first minute.
What if they don't have the skills to do that?
Yes, they can. Just take
they
it
just
to the corner.
The ball. Hoof the ball. What about hoofing it to the corner?
They can do that. Or when they get the ball, they can just hold it.
Or just get their biggest
guy
and
between their legs. You know how you can hold the ball between your legs?
Oh, can you? No.
And just sort of,
hop.
And hop with the ball, but kind of hold it very tightly. So when they try to kick it out, it doesn't come out. It's just wedged in there.
They could also.
You play your strongest players, right? And you give the ball to the strongest player with the strongest legs. And he just holds the ball for 90 minutes.
Here's a question.
That's the game.
You get a guy.
You have to win, Mike.
Or not win. You
have to
not lose.
Well, you got to be pragmatic.
You get the points enough to save you.
But, no one will complain after.
I'm wondering what are
in the long run.
What could happen if, say, you've got one guy with the ball, and the rest of the team, what are the rules of an obstruction? Could you get the rest of the team to form a scrum around the guy with the ball?
Well, I've never looked at those rules. I mean, no one does it. But
and then they just they just walk towards the opposition goal, and no one can get to the ball because even if the keeper wants to get the ball, he has to jump over a player basically to get to it.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting experiment.
It's sort of like a moving shield wall.
It's like an NFL play. They're just shielding the runner down the field to the end zone.
Someone's trying to get in, and that would be interesting. But I'm sure that would be an obstruction. But someone has to try it first. There'll probably have to be a rule change if that comes off, though. Actually, that's legal. You're allowed to do that. Well, we're going to make it illegal.
We've got to fix that.
We've got to change this. Just like when
well, they have to. They'd have to because that goes to the whole point of the game.
Yeah, playing football. Yeah, because it's like the kicking the ball back to the goalkeeper and letting him pick it up. After that game, Norwich and Southampton, which we'll be seeing some pelotons and scrums. Not pelotons, sorry. What's the one with the phalanx? That's the one.
The phalanx, yeah. I have no idea what that is.
Phalanx is when basically the spear.
What sport are we talking about?
This is on the battlefield.
Oh.
basically you got the spearmen just surrounding, and the spears are just facing out and just holding off, the enemy.
Those long spears.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
All the phalanx is the formation. You just have like the sort of like the sun sort of look, and cavalry beware. Pretty hard to get through that without taking serious casualties. So it'll be interesting who implements that first. Speaking of entrepreneurship, but after that, there's Tottenham against Manchester United, and this will be our first narrative of the night, I think, Cos.
Yeah, Mourinho going back
to Old Trafford. How long was he at Old Trafford? 2.5 years?
He's there for a while.
Yeah, a little bit. Enough time to...
Got him to second place.
Yeah. Yeah, well he had that first season, then the second season was the second place season, and then the third season he didn't make it all the way through, did he?
Didn't Solskjaer already beat him?
Cardiff manager?
No, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Didn't he play...
As a Cardiff manager.
Oh, really?
Well, he was a Cardiff manager.
He was the Cardiff manager
when
but
Mourinho was at United.
But have United already played Tottenham?
Oh, you're talking about this season?
Yeah.
Right. Well, probably not when Mourinho was at the helm.
I remember something. Anyway, maybe it was an FA Cup match or something.
You could be right. Yeah, I do feel like they have played against each other, but it could be that sort of reverse fixture situation they got going on. How when they get to the middle part of the season, then the fixtures reverse. But anyway, I think this one, momentum-wise, we can just forget about that because momentum's... But I really feel like Solskjaer was building up a head of steam and he was in a really good spot.
Yeah, look, United are good now.
Well...
I mean, Bruno Fernandes was a great signing.
Oh, yes. Pogba might be back.
He might be.
He is back, but, he might actually be useful on the pitch. So, I mean, like, imagine if that happens.
Yeah, I know. Look, United are... They're coming. They're coming.
And Mourinho's still complaining about his lack of his injuries and stuff like that. But Harry Kane's back.
Look, I think Mourinho, he's past it. That's a big call, but I just think he's past it.
I don't think he's past it, but I think his charm is wearing off. I don't think he's any worse as a tactician, but I think his ability to get the players all on board.
His man management is terrible.
I think he's past that because he had good he had the right man management for the players he had before.
That's right. The players before loved him, but now something's changed.
Well, at least the journalists are on his side now. He's made buddies with all them.
Yes.
So,
yes.
I mean, look, he hasn't been at Tottenham for long. You got to give him a little bit of time.
Oh, that's true.
He hasn't bought a single player. So, that's not going to help him. But I don't think he's going to be playing any players either because of this situation. So,
well, yeah, with COVID, I mean,
good luck with that.
I'd imagine those massive transfer fees won't be happening anytime soon. So,
watch Real Madrid's space.
Oh, Real Madrid's Real Madrid.
Still going to do it
Yeah,
because they rely on it. They literally cannot function without spending a record transfer fee on someone. At least once every 3 or 4 seasons. And then just ridiculous transfer fees in between. So, but anyway, we're not going to Spain now. We're looking at England. Watford played Leicester. Brighton host Arsenal, so Arsenal get to play their next fixture 3 days later. Good luck to them. West Ham host Wolves. Bournemouth play Palace now. Palace. There is something interesting about, maybe not this game, but... there's this little thing called the unofficial... I think the unofficial champion, and this varies. There's a few different versions of this. This is the one in England currently. The current unofficial champion of England. So the unofficial champion is just basically a trophy that gets passed around, and
It's not a real trophy.
No, it's not a real trophy. This is, hence unofficial champion of... England or the world, in this case England. The way it works, very simple. Somebody has it, So the first football match ever played in England would have been the first match for the first trophy, and the winner of that game got that trophy. Then that trophy got passed on to the next team that beat the winner. So it just continues in this fashion, continuously. Sometimes you might end up with the trophy actually going to a lower division because the teams play against each other in the FA Cup or something like that. In which case it'll just hover around there for a little bit, which makes it funny. But currently, the unofficial champion of England is Crystal Palace, because Liverpool got hold of the trophy, held it for 10 or 12 games straight or something like that, and Watford took it off from them, and they held on for one game and got beaten by Crystal Palace next week. So Crystal Palace hold it. Now Liverpool have a chance to take it back because they play Crystal Palace in the next match day.
It would be great if Liverpool could have that and win the league as well.
But first, Crystal Palace needs to negotiate the game against Bournemouth.
And not lose.
Just not lose. They don't need a win, but they must not lose. And that's...
so this is their first title defence.
Their first title defence, yeah. Will they be like Watford and just dish it out in the next game? They are playing, quote-unquote, away. But, Crystal Palace do better away, and Bournemouth, just who knows. I'm kind of worried about this, cause I want Liverpool to get it back. The unofficial champions of England.
Bournemouth need to win as well, don't they?
They do.
So
they really need to win because
you may not get it back.
Yeah, well, they're currently in the relegation zone, just above Aston Villa.
I hope Bournemouth win the game and then get relegated.
No, they can't.
Oh, but then it doesn't work
because there's heaps of games left still.
Unless they win,
they need to win on the last day against whoever.
Yeah.
So let's just say that Liverpool,
unless they draw all their remaining matches,
there's all kinds of things that could happen. If Newcastle ever got into trouble, which I don't think they will now, I think they're pretty far ahead. They're 8 points clear of the relegation zone with 9 games left. It's very unlikely they'll get dragged
into it. It's unlikely, but it could happen, but it's unlikely.
Because they're playing Liverpool on the last day. So if Liverpool held on to it for that long, that could happen. But, I don't think there's really any potential there. The only potential, really, is if Manchester City get hold of the title and win till the last game of the season when they play Norwich. And then, Norwich pulls
beats them
pulls
again.
the double on Manchester City. And that's the only way we can probably see the unofficial title heading back to the championship. But wouldn't that be
well, we'll be keeping an eye on that.
We'll definitely be keeping an eye on that.
Till the end of the season, at least.
Oh, well, maybe not to the end of the season, but we'll just see how these next couple games go because...
that's interesting.
If it changes hands, we'll keep an eye on it. That's for sure.
Yep.
And of course, that should probably lead us to the Merseyside derby, which Liverpool's playing Goodison Park. So if Manchester City does, by some miracle, lose to Arsenal at the Etihad, the Merseyside derby will decide the title. Potentially,
it will if Liverpool win. Yeah.
So could get the sculptors ready to go, chipping away.
Oh, look, they should be ready right now.
Getting the Jesus Klopp
they
outside Goodison Park.
They should be ready now.
Yeah, at Goodison.
Yeah.
Well, that's the alternative. You've got the parade bus going through Goodison Park. Well, not through Goodison Park, but he's just coming onto the pitch and just parading.
The parade bus will start at Goodison Park and go right around Liverpool, and then it will hit the highway and go up to Manchester. And just parade around Old Trafford. It'll be spread everywhere. This is what was it now? This is 30 years in the making.
30 years.
Yeah.
Just over 30 years.
30 years in the making.
I know because I was born and since then Liverpool haven't won. And I had my 30th birthday less than a week ago. So
yeah, we've never seen Liverpool win.
I've never seen them win. Yeah. Not in my lifetime. And I've never... Yeah, so... the alternative now... let's just say... Manchester City do not drop points. They beat Arsenal. And then next week, when they play Chelsea away, they also beat them, which also isn't a given. Then it is very possible that Liverpool wins their next 2 games, one including the Everton game, obviously, and the current unofficial champions of England, Crystal Palace. If that happens, then they will win the trophy, and they'll probably get a guard of honour at Manchester City, which is sort of a more realistic turn of events.
Well, provided City don't drop points against Chelsea.
Yeah, so
away from home, because that's a tough game.
If City don't drop points against Chelsea or Arsenal, actually, or because there's 3 teams they play: Chelsea, Arsenal, and Burnley. So.
Burnley's not easy either, but
yeah, Burnley is stubborn. So
yeah.
But if they find a way through, then they'll be fine, and they'll have an extra match as well under their belt against Arsenal. So. Completely different team. You probably couldn't get a more different team than Burnley and Arsenal.
Yeah, you definitely. But
both at home in their empty stadium.
But I think that'll be nice to see actually if they get a guard of honour at Man City, because that's like a mark of respect.
Yeah, the respect is high.
The rivalry's been respectful.
We talked about this.
We did, and it's a weird rivalry. But anyway,
it's a good rivalry.
It's good, but it's weird.
I like it because it's competitive, because they're vicious in the games, but they're not overly break your leg vicious.
Yeah, it's just highly competitive, and they don't hate each other. There's no animosity.
So much good stuff.
Yeah.
And just a reminder of why we love the Premier League so much. So many stories that just go. I forgot about these. It's just you don't.
No, it's fantastic.
The Bundesliga doesn't really carry the same.
Well, it does. It might, but we just don't.
We don't know the character. We need to get to know.
We need the
protagonists.
Yeah.
I think we might start with that down the track, in between, off camera. Maybe get ready for next season. I mean, this season's a write-off, but because the title's done.
Look, the main character is Bayern Munich at the end of the day.
No, they're the main villain. They are the antagonist, and everyone else is the protagonist.
Well, they're very powerful.
And the current hero is Dortmund, who is going to fall short. It was Leipzig for a bit, but
apparently
they killed him off halfway, 3/4 of the way through.
Nobody
the season.
likes Leipzig.
True.
In Germany, so.
But they were still. That's the thing. You would think that they'd be like, but if they beat Bayern, but
no, they'd rather Bayern over.
They'd
Leipzig,
rather Bayern win
so,
because there's some sort of illegitimacy about Leipzig, which I don't necessarily agree with. Although the culture of German football, there is in fact a good argument against Leipzig, but that's a different story. But I think we did want to move along to the Italian league. Okay, let's a quick glance to the Spanish league. The only reason I'm mentioning is because I put 50-cent bets on all the games to end in a draw, just like I did with the German league. Except in the German league, I did $1. I made money. It was like 30 cents or something like that.
Oh yeah.
I got 3 draws. That was enough. And if I'd started on this week, there's already been 2 draws. So like Spain is full of draws. So
yeah,
I've already missed out on a gold mine. But anyway, that league is basically it's Barcelona, Real Madrid. No one else is close. There's actually a bit of a 2-horse race there. There might actually be a battle. Barcelona isn't far ahead. Real Madrid is.
It's usually out of those two.
And
nothing really changes.
Yeah, because Barcelona's losing games this season.
Yeah,
so, that's right. Because they changed manager when they were top of the league, and top of the Champions League group, and it's just a weird club. But anyway, any comments there? Cos? I'll make one thing. I will say, Atletico Madrid is not in the top 4 currently.
That's a bit 6th. Sad. Yeah, that's a bit sad.
I'd love for them to go 5th. And then win the Champions League. And then and then see. I don't mind Atletico winning the Champions League just because, I mean, the way they play is scummy, but they are battlers.
They're a good team.
My heart goes out.
They're hard to beat.
Atletico Madrid.
They're very hard to beat. So.
It would be very interesting.
You got to beat them.
I would laugh very hard if they did somehow win the Champions League and Real Madrid and Barcelona just fall to their knees and start crying because they just throw out their entire team. In Barcelona's case, except for Messi, they just get rid of everyone. Real Madrid, they get rid of everyone as well. they just start from scratch. They're like, nah, like this is not working. They get rid of their president, their like everyone who works under him. Just everyone goes. I don't know who makes these decisions because surely the president has to make the call for these things. But
he resigns in shame. Yeah. Is that what he does?
I don't know. No, there's a revolt in Barcelona or Real Madrid. Or both, especially Real Madrid. Just the fans cause an uprising. They come in and they just throw everyone out. Oh. It's kind of like what's going on in America, except in the club.
Oh, jeez.
and I'm sorry if you deem this inappropriate, Cos, but I have to say this.
You have to?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, the fans just come and say, "Nah, we've had enough. This is just you're abusing our faith as fans, and we want you out. That's it. Defund the president, defund the board. Everyone just kick him out, and the fans take over.
The fans take over.
Imagine if the fans take over and they run the club properly.
You know, they could get better results than what they're currently getting.
They could. Yeah. And another thing on top of that, part of those fans will be some of the people who were employed, for example, by Barcelona, who got them basically when they were under Pep Guardiola, and they were actually the most amazing side in Europe, because they've fallen away so far since in the last few seasons. And just imagine that, like they come out and they're led by that guy, the guy who they kicked him out, right? The guy who basically started that whole thing, led by him, and the guy I don't know if Real Madrid have an equivalent, but Zinedine Zidane is. I'm sorry, you're not my guru. You are absolutely not my. I mean, he's great, right? But he's one man at the club. He looks. I know there's no historical biblical figure that sort of looks like Zinedine Zidane, but to me, he just looks like someone from that period who would be like some sort of messiah.
Oh, he's definitely.
And he's had that role for them.
He's definitely a prophet. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And
my favourite part was when he left Real Madrid.
Yeah, I know that was amazing. He saw the future.
he won three Champions Leagues in a row. No one's done that before ever. And then
he's like the prophet Isaiah or something, just seeing the future.
And then he said, "You know what? Ronaldo's leaving. I see what's happening. You guys sort out this mess." It's kind of like in The Simpsons when Homer's the head of the garbage people, and then he just spends all the money stupidly, and then he can't pay them money anymore, and he gets the town into a huge mess. And the guy who they voted out to get Homer in comes back, and they're like, "Oh yes, you'll save us." Like, "Oh great, all right. Now that you've hired me back, I'm just here to say you're all screwed. See you later," and then just walks away. And I think Zidane's done something similar like that at Real Madrid, and all power to him, which is why I like Zidane. As much as it pained me to see Liverpool lose that final, it was a lot of respect for that guy, Zizou. The headbutt.
He's only the greatest player to probably ever play.
Yeah, what an end to his career as well. Yeah. All right, final spot. We go further south because France doesn't exist. Italy.
France doesn't exist.
Well, let's be real. Italy has actually got 12 games to go. They've got a long way to go.
Yeah, they do.
They're really...
No, well, they usually start the season after England.
Yeah, they take it slow. They got the siestas going and everything. And I think they also cut their season earlier.
It's mainly due to the heat, which is kind of a worry because the season's going into their summer.
It's already hot, yeah.
It's already starting to get to 30 degrees.
They might as well start playing their games in France. Nothing's going on there anyway. Germany's almost done. They might as well just move in there. They got the Allianz Stadium already.
I think the games will have to be played at night or something just to avoid the sun. But anyway.
That might be why the Premier League's doing their games so late.
Yeah, that could be true.
Because
the Italian summers are generally hotter, but anyway.
Oh, yeah, obviously. But I mean, England is... When it's 25 degrees there, they start just working up a sweat, and their train tracks like start melting and things like that. They're not built for this stuff, you know. The Italians are more resilient.
Yeah.
But anyway,
the Italians don't like the cold. That's the other way.
Yeah, it's true. They're not. They don't do too good with the cold.
No.
Send them to Russia. They're in trouble.
They're gone. Forget it.
Yeah, the Italians. they kick off with very uninteresting games, very uninspiring. It's pretty much really dull all the way up until you get to the second last game, Atalanta versus Lazio. Now that's, for those of you who haven't been following what the heck is going on in Italy, they're actually both in the top four.
Well, Atalanta's in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, just so.
Yeah, and
just in case we've forgotten.
And
yeah.
They've had an easy run to get there, but
they had
they've done the job.
An easy run. Atalanta have had an easy run.
They drew against City, didn't they?
They did draw against City at home, yeah.
But everyone else in that group
they haven't been able to play at their actual home stadium.
Yeah.
Well. Just
San
so you know.
Siro.
They've gone to...
They can now, probably. Because
well, with no fans, yeah. But,
but maybe... I'm sure they've just got VAR in their stadium. So that'll get them feeling good too.
They've done very well.
No fans, but who cares?
Yeah.
Playing at home. But
Lazio, on the other hand, are challenging for the Serie A title.
Well, Atalanta and Lazio are 10 and 11 goals ahead in goal difference, respectively, of Juventus, right? Who are...
Juventus have been very dodgy this season. They've been winning, but not by much, and just sort of struggling through, whereas Lazio and Atalanta have really been winning games more easily.
But without going into too much depth, going into just these teams, mainly Lazio, they had this... How many games did they win in a row? It was stupid. Like 8 games
they won
straight?
10 in a row.
10 in a row.
They did win something like that.
10 in a row.
Yeah.
Now, they're on a 4-game winning streak now. They drew 2 games in between all that, but they haven't lost for a long time.
They haven't lost for a long time.
They smashed Juventus 3-1.
Earlier in the season.
A bit earlier in the season. They're just... They come from nowhere, really, and they're only 1 point behind Juventus. So realistically, they're actual genuine.
No, they're genuine title contenders, absolutely.
And I actually, I failed to notice.
I hope they win, to be honest.
There's actually a few games going on before those fixtures that I just mentioned, because there's a few catch-up games going on. Torino, Parma, Verona, Cagliari, which is both very uninspiring. But Atalanta again pops up its head against Sassuolo. And then Inter plays Sampdoria. So, just to give a bit of context to that, mainly the Lazio thing, Sassuolo has fallen away, but I don't know why Lazio is getting that... Atalanta. Yeah, Atalanta's game in hand. I got excited there because I just love Atalanta, but... that has no effect on the title race.
Yeah,
I apologise.
Yeah.
Only on the top 4 race, which is quite interesting, but you need more context than just what we can tell you in 5 minutes. There's a lot of interest here, but the thing I love about this setup here is basically the entire top 4 is blue, except Juventus. Like, because Juventus is
that is true. That is very true.
And
Juventus.
Unfortunately, Napoli is below Roma. So if they were just one step higher, then there'd be 4 teams below Juventus, all blue. But unfortunately, Roma had to just crash the party and
sit there. Yeah,
they're doing well, but they're actually doing quite well financially. Roma, very well.
Yeah, they are, and Lazio are as well. So it'd be good to have the Roman clubs like competing and contending every year.
But they need to follow through, cause they can't just keep falling to Juventus. But Lazio looks like they don't care about Juventus.
No, they're going for it.
Because the teams that have been fighting Juventus for the title always seem to lose against Juventus. Lazio dismissed them.
Yeah, they did. They did, and that's something different.
Oh, that's something I love. And they've got the top scorer as well, Immobile.
Yes, he's been prolific this season.
He's just phenomenal, this guy. What is it, like 27 goals or something? It's something he's sort of on Messi level in terms of goals.
In terms of
goals per game.
In terms of putting the ball in the net, yeah.
In goals per game. Not as a total player.
Yeah.
Let's
I was just putting that out there.
Yeah, no, it's a very good pick up there, cause definitely not Messi level in terms of in the whole deal, but yeah, I'm really excited about this weekend. Cause is it time to get Kaio?
I think it is.
Should we send a question to our listeners?
Yeah, look, we can ask the listeners if we should get Kayo Sports.
I mean, we're not going to listen to you because we're just going to do what we want anyway.
Yeah.
But there's not enough time for this. But we have got to get Kayo. But
I reckon we should.
If I don't get it, Cos, you need to remind me.
Okay.
I'm not going to do it now.
I'll remind you.
It would be rude to our listeners, to me, to just dabble on my phone.
But we've got to be considerate, don't we?
Yeah. You can't have your phones at the podcast. We never have our phones at the podcast.
There's another league. There's another league I'd like to mention. Turkey.
Oh.
Trabzonspor could win the league.
Give me some context here. Why should I care?
Because we should care, because apparently the Turkish league, there's only 3 teams that ever win it. Galatasaray, Fenerbahce and Besiktas.
And they're all Istanbul based.
They're all Istanbul
based. It says Trabzonspor, isn't it?
No, I don't think there is.
Trabzonspor is also a big club, though.
Yes, but it's just if one of those 3 don't win it, something weird's happening.
But Trabzonspor, I think, is actually in that bracket.
No, they're not.
Keep going, because
they can make European competition, but in terms of winning winning the Turkish league, nah. There's only 2 teams that win it, and Besiktas sometimes win it.
Yeah, well, that's my understanding is that there's a big gap between.
But right now, Fenerbahce is 7th and Galatasaray is like 4th.
I forget which one's the bigger one, but I think Galatasaray is the biggest.
Yeah.
Fenerbahce, and then Besiktas is. I'm pretty sure Besiktas isn't far behind Fenerbahce.
Well, that could be true. Yeah.
But my understanding is Trabzonspor is actually sort of.
And you've got Istanbul Başakşehir here in 2nd, which is funny as well. So there's 2 teams that could take the trophy
they're
away
completely left of field.
There's 2 teams that could take the trophy away from one of the big 3. So I just thought I'd put that out there as something to keep an eye on.
No, that's true. That's
something
true.
to watch. Yeah.
I mean,
whenever something different happens, it's good to point out.
Okay, when you say something to watch, I think you've gone too far.
Something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, something to keep an eye on. There we go. Okay, now we're speaking the same language. But Trabzonspor, my understanding is they are definitely very, very relevant. They're
one of the better Turkish teams. I mean, they're always in the top half of the table.
I guess the bigger news here is the fact that Galatasaray, Besiktas, and Fenerbahce are way off the pace.
That's right.
And Galatasaray are two games out, so 6 points below. Besiktas another 6 points below them, and Fenerbahce another point behind Besiktas. So, from my understanding, Turkey, there's been this huge issue with money. There's been heavy losses, even before the pandemic. And a massive restructure of essentially the league is happening, which is why this has occurred. Istanbul seems to be just the place to be in Turkey. But Trabzonspor has clearly jumped onto the occasion and taken the tough, and we'll see how that goes.
We'll see if they can hold on. But
my prediction is that we will not follow this league to the end, and we will not figure out.
No, I'll be looking at it. Yeah, absolutely.
But if Cos is making this claim, I'm not. I'm not as confident.
I'll be watching it. Don't you worry.
I'll be
watching the results.
You'll be watching the results. Let's make that clear.
Yeah, I'm watching the results.
Maybe highlights. Is that too far? Highlights?
No, I'll probably chuck it on.
Yeah, I guess that's really the thing. Watching results, caring about results. So watching results, watching the table, watching highlights, watching the replay, and then actually watching it live. They're the steps.
You've made me think too much now.
There's the steps.
My brain is just dying of thinking right now.
No, your brain's just dying anyway because
it's
too late for you.
I'm not thinking about that. Yeah, look, I am 50 years old.
Are you also in your morning stage?
No.
Today wasn't a morning day.
No.
It was a get up whenever you feel like it time, and so you'll be up till 2 a.m. These
are the days, right, when you finish classes, and then you have to start studying for exams, and it's just that kind of point where
sleep doesn't matter as long as I get it.
Do I start today? It doesn't really matter because it's not going to impact the result. Exams are so far away. I could start tomorrow. It doesn't really.
You're in a bad place.
I'm in a bad place.
We've got to get you out. But I think that's a good place to wrap it up.
It is. No one wants to know about my exams. So.
I wouldn't know. I'm more interested in your exams than Trabzonspor, but
you cannot possibly be interested in my boring
I'm very
exams.
interested in your exams.
Yeah, you want to sit them?
No.
Oh, you can.
Maybe the law one.
They're online.
I'll blitz that.
They're online. You can just sit in my computer. Yeah.
Okay, let's not go there because
They're not
we
supervised.
might get accused of
They're open book.
might get accused of something. Cause if your marks are too good, so not that they can be. You've been doing all right.
No, my marks have been good.
Yeah, it's fine. But anyway, thank you all for listening. Hope you enjoy this. I hope everyone's as geared up for the return to. I can't believe all these narratives coming through.
Well, football's back. Slowly.
Football is back.
It's all coming back.
Don't forget to check out our YouTube page as well. If you haven't already, we've got some videos up there. And there will be new stuff coming up soon. New video that we have recorded.
Yes.
And it is in editing phase. It should be good fun. Hopefully we'll have more of those up over the next few weeks or months.
It should be a good series.
Months. Definitely a good series.
Yep.
So, until next time, take care and we will speak to you then.